back. I could. Yep. Don't worry, I'm not. All right, going from radians to degrees, degrees to radians. So if I have 120 degrees, I want it in radians. If you remember, maybe not, I multiply it by pi over 180. And you keep pi in the answer, but you reduce 120 over 180 for me. And it reduces down to, so 120 degrees is the same as 2 pi over 3. 7 pi over 4 in degrees. Whoa! No, no. I am not going to multiply by 180 over pi. You can if you want. You're better than that. Dig deep. Anybody remember the quick ones here from back in the day? Pi over 3, pi over 6, pi over 4. Yeah, here we go. Finish. Anybody else want a piece of this? Pi over 3. So why am I doing this? Ready? See the pi over 4? That's what in degrees? 45, multiply it by 7. We're done. What do you got for me? 300. 15? All right, I should probably get my answer key out. All right, pi over 3. Number 3, pi over 3. 60 times negative 2. Negative 120. No big deal. Now, remember, if it is something other than 3, 6, and 4 down here, I am going to have to multiply by 180 over pi, unfortunately. All right, because I'm not going to remember all of them. Oh, yes. Yes. Remember this? Drawing them in standard position. 145. Just like the old day. Quadrant. Hold on. 0. What's up here? 90. Buck 80. 270. Okay, you got it. So that's in quadrant 2. Remember, one side of the angle had to be where? On the x-axis. And then the other one had to be in quadrant 2, but where? Closer to 90 or 180 for 145? 180, yep. And this is the thing that's gonna happen today. You're actually gonna get exact on those circle graphs. We're not gonna be in the ballpark anymore. We're gonna be exact for 145. Negative 30, now which direction? Oh, shoot! Anybody gonna stop me? We're not ready to go on to number 2. Yeah, there we go, all right. It's been so bad in here this year, I know. We actually had to learn. Whew. Negative 30, now we're going clockwise. Negative 30, what quadrant? 4. Closer to 0 or negative 90? 0. And the rotation arrow going clockwise. 295. It's a fun game here. 4. Closer to 270 or 360? 270, but we're going to get exact today. No more of this in the ballpark. Rotation arrow. Negative 5 pi over 6. Pi over 6. 30 times negative 5. We're going quick. Sorry, you want me to slow down? Negative 5 times 30. Negative buck 50. Ooh, easy here. Easy, easy. Think about it. What quadrant am I in? Third quadrant. Are you closer to negative 90 or negative 180? 180. We're closer to the negative 180. Boom. I don't know pi over 8. I'm sorry. I do not know pi over 8. So we're going to multiply by 180 over pi. Get the pi's out of there. And then you guys can let me know what is that as a degree. What do you got for as a degree? 292.5. What quadrant? Quadrant 4. Closer to 360 or 270? 270, yep. Going in a counterclockwise direction. Oh, good, good. How we all doing, all right? Not bad? Making great time? Ooh, coterminal, yikes. Find a positive and a negative measure that's coterminal. Reminder what coterminal was, ready? First one's 50 degrees, right? You don't have to draw this, but here's 50 degrees. Name another positive angle that would look like that. Name a negative angle that would look like that. I see people going to their calculators. What can I do with 50 to find another positive angle that looks like that? Go all the way around again. All the way around, you're adding 360. This pen is killing me. So another positive angle that's coterminal with 50, 410. And what if I wanted the negative angle? Yep. 50 minus 360. Negative 310. 580. Okay, so you can still add 360. Nothing wrong with that. What was that? 940, everybody? My memory's right from. And then now watch. What's wrong here? I still get what? 220? But I needed a negative answer, not a second positive answer. So keep subtracting. So my negative answer is negative 140. Okay, yes, fifth period. Could you just keep 220 as your positive? Yeah, that's fine. All 940, 220, negative 140, they're all the same angle. Yep. Okay, 5 pi over 6. Ready? Hey, I do not want you to convert. You don't need to convert here. You're better than that. Watch. Ready? Here's why we're not going to convert and waste time. What did you add and subtract every time up here? 360. What's that in radians? Anybody remember 360? 2 pi. So here's what I want you to do instead of converting and wasting our time, because you're at this level right now. You are at this level. You're going to add 2 pi to it, which is the same as adding 360. Oh, they got different denominators. Who cares? You're at a higher level right now. Can anybody change 2 pi so it has a denominator of 6 and still equals 2 pi? So I still want it a denominator of 6. What do I have to put on top so that equals 2 pi? What's got to go on top here so this equals 2 pi? Don't tell me you can't do it. You're fine. Okay, ready? I got to have a 6 denominator of 6, right? But I know that fraction's got to be the same as 2 pi. So the only thing I can divide 6 by that's going to give me 2 is 12. 12 divided by 6 is 2. We all right there? 17 pi over 6. So there's one angle. Now do what with them? Subtract them. 5 pi over 6 minus 12 pi over 6. Negative. Hey, just for old, you want to just take a seat just for old time's sake, or you good? Oh, all right, you could leave it there. You can leave it there. Wow. You meant nothing first semester, you two. Meant nothing to her. Just used you for answers. Just used you for answers. No idea. She hasn't been here all semester. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's all right. All right, it's all good. I would start ragging on you guys that you didn't notice, but I still have kids in some of my other classes that if they're not here, I look at the desk and I'm like, no idea who that is. Can I get a little help? No idea. All right, so I can't blame you guys. Negative 7 pi over 3. All right, help me out. I want to add 2 pi to it, but it's got to have a denominator of 3 now. So what's going to go on top for me this to equal 2 pi? X? Oh, 6. I thought I heard an X out of there. I was like, oh boy, we got work to do. So that'll give me negative pi over 3. But if I subtract, I'm still going to get a negative answer here. So how in the world am I going to get a positive one finally? Take negative pi over 3 and add 6 pi over 3 again. We don't need to convert anymore. We don't need to convert. That's for people who are below our math right now. We're at a high level right now. All good. Any issues doing that tomorrow with your partners? All right, here it is. Welcome to your new graph. No more XY axes. I want to introduce you to what's called the polar graph. Okay, the polar graph. We are going to do a ton of stuff on here. You guys are going to be so masterful at the end of this unit. We're going to be drawing hearts on this sucker, everything. All right? Only time a heart's going to come up with me is right there. All right? It's pretty much ice cold right now. What? Sure. Yeah. Are you? Out of all the 5 I have? That's a bold statement. No? I've warmed up to 5th period. I have. That's a group in 5th period. It's a crew. All right, has a crew. All right, well, how are we going to graph on here? First thing I need you to see, this is like one of those seek and finds. Do you see your old XY axes on that graph? Yeah, you do. I'm going to start with the degree one first. What is that? Jesus. Totally embarrassment. All right, it's going to happen. This board has been ridiculous the last 2 days. Maybe it's the one who operates it. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, funny. Okay. Everyone see the XY axes? All right, well, you already know what's here in degrees then. What's this one? That's going to be 90. We know that one's going to be 180 on this graph, on this part of the graph, 270, and then 0, 360 there. So we know what some of them are, but what about the ones in between now? Well, you guys can figure that out. This goes 90 degrees right here, and I'm doing it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, evenly spaced out. So you can tell me what each mark goes by now. Goes by 15 degrees. So this first one right here is 15 degrees, 30 degrees, 45, 60, and 75. And yes, this is the only time I'll ask you to do it. Yes, we can go all the way around now. 105, it goes by 15s. That's the biggest thing I want you to get out of this. It goes by 15 degrees. 210. Going up by 15s. One job. So when I ask you to graph 135 degrees now, we're going to be exact. We're not doing this closer to 90, 180 business anymore. As you can see, we're going to be exact when we graph that now. Okay, let's go to the radians, which probably will be in most of the time. Well, we already know what's going to be on, if that's 90, what's going to be up here in radians. Anybody remember 90 converted? What? Pi over 2? Thanks, Gabe. What about 180? That's going to be what here? Hasn't been that long. 180 is what in radians? Pi. So pi. Yep, great. What about down here? Oh, God. 270? Yeah, yeah. And then it goes back to 0 or 2 pi. All right, ready? Because we got to know what's in the middle now. What do these go by? How many degrees? 15. So if I asked you guys to convert 15 right now to radians, take 15, convert it to radians. So what do you multiply it by? Go back to beginning of class. Pi over 180. Go ahead for me, everyone. Leave the pi in your answer and reduce. So I know what it goes by. Doesn't go by 15 degrees. It goes by pi over 12. Okay. Ready? Take a breath. First one, pi over 12. You start just counting now. 1 pi over 12. Next one. But you're better than that. I don't want 2 pi over 12. I want it reduced. Pi over 6. So I got 1, 2, 3 pi over 12. 3 pi over 12, pi over 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 pi over 12. Pi over 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pi over 12. That doesn't reduce, right? So it's just 5 pi over 12. Look at this. Ready? The next one would be 6 pi over 12 reduces down to, what's the next one? I got 6 now, and now I'm going to 7 pi over 12. And I'm going to let you guys keep motoring all the way around. Reduce, reduce, reduce. This is the last time you have to do it. Quit your whining. No. Memorize it? No. Do you think I'm going to have you memorize all those little pieces? Yeah, okay, what about it? We're done with that. This isn't the unit circle anymore. I'll just fill in some down here. What am I writing? I'm not asking you to memorize them. The only thing I want you to remember, what's it go by? On the radians, what's it go by? Pi over 12. That's all you got to remember, pi over 12. I'll show you great tricks here in a second. And it might also be helpful to know how many pi over 12s when you go all the way around. How many do I have here? If you count every tick mark here. Anybody? Well, that was 23. 24 of them. Okay, there's 24 of these total. Okay, and they go by pi over 12. Let me know when everyone's ready, and then we'll graph a couple and be done for the day. Ready or keep waiting? Okay, just let me know. Oh, and just to rub it in, she wrote period 5. Just to let me know, period 5 on her paper. She meant nothing to you. You guys meant nothing to her. We all good? Yes, maybe? Can I show you why you don't need to memorize this now? Everyone all set? Okay, we're time to graph it now. So I want to graph 105. What's it go by in degrees? This graph? This goes by, no, on degrees. Goes by 15s. 105 is close to what? 90. Everyone knows where that is, right? 90. Okay, keep adding 15. What's the next one then? Okay, you don't need to memorize them. You don't need to memorize where 105 is. There it is, and we're going to make this the same way we did on the XY graph. You still have this on your x-axis, and now we're just going to get a little bit more exact by drawing that to 105. I still need a what? Still need a rotation arrow. Okay, negative 300. You can start at 270. You can start at 360. It's up to you. So I know negative 270 is right here. So I'm thinking to myself, it goes by 15. So 270, 285, 300. There it is. Or maybe you work backwards from 360. It's up to you. Am I going too fast there? Or are we all right? You don't need to memorize them. We okay? What's the next one? Okay, 240. Oh, that's 270. Right? 270. Going backwards, let's see. Oh boy, that's why you guys got the calculators. 255. 240. Ding. It's not bad at all. Okay, now you might get a little nuts with the radians. 10 pi over 12. Guys, what do they go by again? Ready? And how many of them are there? 10. Can you count to 10? You can graph it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Done. I don't need to memorize. But what happens if it's not at a pi over 12? All right. Okay, ready? Negative 3 pi over 2. Some of you are like, well, it's not pi over 12. How am I going to know? You said I didn't have to memorize. You don't. Make it out of 12. Make it out of 12. Multiply top and bottom by 6. Make it out of 12. So now this is 12, and what's on top now? Negative 18 pi. So you can go, ready? Clockwise, because it's negative. So ready? You can go 18 in this direction, or how many were there total? 24, so you can work backwards if you want. 23, 22, 21, 20. Yep, right there. And some of you may already know, oh, that's 270, negative 270. So if you want to graph it quicker, that's fine. Just make it into a 12. One more, because I know we're feeling good. 7 pi over 4. How do I make it into a 12? Multiply top and bottom by 3 spot. So I need you guys to graph, 21 pi over 12. You can count backwards because you know it's 24, or go 21 all the way around. So 24, 23, 20, 21 pi over 12. No memorization needed, kids. I wish we could do more, but fortunately that's an end to the day. Get after it tomorrow. Relax after you're done with your partner or by yourself.